Tennessee Titans fans, OTAs are here. Football in May, 7 on 7s, 11 on 11s. Oh my goodness, we're actually getting to see Cam Ward throw against actual people and not just against air. I don't even know why I have these on because I'm not listing anything. I've got a few tweets I'm going to show you, kind of recapping what was seen today during the Titans 7 on 7s. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of interesting stuff being said by certain people. I'll just get right into it here. First of all, let me get this bigger so you can see it. That's what, well, never mind. Buck Rising noted that not spotted at the OTAs, Tyler Lockett, L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Zeitler, Lloyd Cushenberry, Tavondre Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons, guys that were there but not full go, Traylon Burks, Kevin Winston Jr., Kalel Mullings. The only, Tavondre Sweat, I don't understand why he wouldn't be there, but there may be something we don't know about. All of the rest of those guys, veteran players or players coming off of injury that you would expect, were probably not going to be there. Traylon Burks has been an interesting topic of discussion. He's out there doing some drills, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I refuse to get my hopes up again. I refuse to watch Traylon Burks do a ladder drill, on the field and try to convince myself that this is going to be his breakout year. I've gotten burned too many times on that, and I just refuse to fall into that trap again. Let's get into some of the more interesting stuff here. Will Levis, everybody. According to Terry McCormick, Will Levis said he prepared himself beforehand that the Titans would draft Cam Ward with the first pick. He said he is approaching his mindset the same way, ready to compete and play to his best when his number is called. He admitted that the situation sucks for him, but it is what it is. It does suck for him, and I understand that. I would imagine that, yes, seeing the Titans draft essentially your replacement, yeah, that's something that he probably knew was coming, and I'm sure that was a tough pill to swallow, and continues to be. A lot of talk about how weird the dynamic is between Will Levis and Cam Ward. Not that they're like fighting or anything, but it is a weird dynamic, and as I've said time and time again, these are human beings. They have emotions, they have real feelings about this, but what I will say is this. Nobody, I want to be nice, I don't want to be rude, but nobody did this to Will. This sounds heartless, I know, but you had your chance. It's not like this situation sucks for me. Yes, but as Chris Stapleton once said, ain't got nobody to blame but me. You had a whole season and a half to at least show that we were heading in the right direction, and repeatedly it just didn't work. And it's not to say you're a bad guy. It's not even to say you're a bad football player. But in terms of being the franchise quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, you had your chance and it didn't work. They didn't want to have the number one pick in the draft. They didn't want to have to draft a new franchise quarterback because they hoped you were it. And there was no reason to believe at the end of the season that you were taking us in the right direction. So yes, it sucks, but the responsibility kind of lies at your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Nick Holes, I'm sorry, I don't know why I always say Tim. Nick Holes, the offensive coordinator, talking about Cam Ward, said he's here earlier than some of the coaches. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that Cam Ward, now ultimately, the most important thing is that we see it on the field, that we see him playing well. But I do like the attitude that he has come in with, Cam Ward. I do like the work ethic and the leadership that he has shown. Sometimes it's hard coming in as a rookie to try to take that leadership role because you're the youngest ones here. Why would Jeffrey Simmons want to take leadership from this kid that just got drafted? But it looks like Cam Ward, and of course it's different when you're the quarterback, but it looks like Cam Ward has taken to the position well. That leadership role, coming in, holding guys accountable, getting there early, first one in, last one out. That's what we like to hear. Now this, I'm afraid I'm going to get a little tough love on this one. Will Levis said, nothing can really surprise me at this point. I got thrown in the fire last year, and as much as it sucked, you can say we all learned from it. Now, here's my issue with that. And I know people misspeak all the time, things come out wrong. You got thrown into the fire? My man, everybody knew you were the starting quarterback for the entire offseason going into last year. You played half the season the year before. You didn't get thrown into the fire, my guy. There's a reason you did them commercials. There's a reason you got that sponsorship with Hellman's Mayonnaise. There's a reason you were doing all that funny stuff. There's a reason that they went out and signed Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd and L'Jarius Sneed, is because they thought you were it. There was no mystery as to who the future franchise quarterback was in their minds. They hoped and thought it was you. They brought in Brian Callahan to help you. You did not get thrown into the fire. You know? Like, getting thrown into the fire would mean, oh, I got caught off guard. I didn't know that I was going to be put in this situation, and then I got thrown in there, and I did the best I could. No, you had an entire offseason to know that you were going to be the starting quarterback and that they wanted you to be the future. You did not get thrown into the fire. You're not a victim here. I love Will. I do. I'm not trying to pick on him. Maybe he just misspoke. We all do that. But you did not get thrown into the fire. You knew what the situation was. Like, nobody did this to you. Come on now. J.C. Latham's lost a lot of weight. He said the decision to change his body composition came after the Texans game. He said it was embarrassing. So, I mean, this is one of the big stories coming out of OTAs and everything, is that, J.C. Latham has dropped some weight. Brian Callahan talked today about how he thought J.C. Latham's weight last season, especially in the second half of the season, really hindered him. And J.C. Latham was honest in talking about it. I don't remember whether he said this on Bussin' with the Boys or if he said it today, but, in college football, that worked for him, to just be bigger than everybody. It was like a cheat code, he said. But in the NFL, when you're going against some of the greatest athletes in the world who are at edge rush, being, nearly 400 pounds doesn't work like it did in college. So Brian Callahan wanted him to lose some weight. JC wanted to lose some weight. He's moving over to right tackle. Callahan says he's taken well to that. Time will tell, but good to see JC putting in the work. And then, of course, the 7-on-7s. Cam Ward, this is from Buck Rising, said Cam Ward threw only one incompletion in 7-on-7 where he just missed Ridley on a deep cross. 4 more and a botched exchange in the first team. He cleaned it up significantly in second team. Nice job leading the receivers to let them try for extra yards. Calvin Ridley doing a lot of side work with weighted football and the only wide receiver working with quarterback group. Fascinating dynamic between Levis and Ward. Number 8, greater comfort level. Will Levis, greater comfort level with the drills, but trying to balance competition versus being deferential to number 1. It's just a weird dynamic there. This is interesting. I'd favor Otis Reese in the inside linebacker competition next to Cody Barton starting out. James Williams and Cedric Gray received praise from Callahan at the podium, but you only publicly gas up the guys that need it. That is a good point by my friend Buck Rising there. I don't know why I expected Draymond Jones to be much more physically impressive than he was upon first look. Definitely a different body type than Arden Stout. That's good. Levis ended the practice with an interception to number 30. Tough scene. It's your third year in the league. You got thrown into the fire in that 7-on-7. I'm not going to be mean about it. Like, I think he just misspoke, but whatever. Regarding the reps Brian Brian Callahan was clear today that first team, second team, third team doesn't really matter in OTAs, and at this point, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I think Brandon Allen actually took the first set with the first team, so like just to prove. And that's probably smart that they did that, because if it was Will or Cam, then people would read too much in. So it's probably smart that you just go with the boring veteran and let him do it. But overall, it sounds like Cam Ward had a good first day in 7-on-7. Will Levis had an okay day and struggled some. But looks like, what I'm liking is that it sounds like guys are trying to step up and create a culture and leadership. Obviously, Cam, Femi Oladejo, the second round pick who's changed his number to number 7, you can tell he's got leader written all over him. Just everything about him. What a beast, too. I don't know if you saw the video on the Titans Twitter of him walking out on the field. Guy's a mountain of a man. JC dropping the weight to try to help the team. Calvin Ridley's out there, putting in the work. So, good stuff going on. That inside linebacker position is an interesting one. I've been saying all offseason you're going to desperately need Cedric Gray and James Williams to both step up. But sounds like it's open auditions for who's going to play next to Cody Barton. Otis Reese, kind of a guy that some people in the fan base are really high on. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of him. And, man, it's just good to have something going on football-wise with the Titans. Nearly 2 months till the preseason. I can't wait. Just saying that gave me chills. All right, tighten up, everybody.